Hello everyone, I'm Wayne and today I'm at District 21 exploring a development that is a masterclass in urban planning and luxury living. Behind me is the site of what is arguably the most anticipated integrated development in the West, the Reserve Residences. Now, if you are looking for a property that perfectly balances the tranquility of nature with absolute ultra convenience, you need to pay attention. Jointly developed by industry giants Far East Organisation and Sino Group, this is not just another condo. This is a game-changing, fully integrated transport hub that is completely redefining the Upper Bukit Timah precinct. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly why securing a unit in this under-construction mega project is one of the best real estate moves you can make right now. When the Reserve Residences launched back in 2023, it made immediate headlines by clearing more than 70% of its 732 units on the launch day itself. This overwhelming demand was driven almost entirely by locals, with 99% of the buyers being Singaporeans and permanent residents, alongside 3 foreigners of US citizenship where they are subjected to the same stamp duty rates as Singaporeans under the Free Trade Agreement. This massive turnout was fueled by the extreme rarity and ultimate convenience of an integrated development. Buyers recognize that a fully air-conditioned bus interchange seamlessly linked to an MRT station and a commercial mall is a proven formula for strong capital appreciation and high rentability. Plus, it is perfectly positioned to benefit from the ongoing transformation of the Beauty World precinct. It is also worthy to note that the developer reported over 40% of these initial buyers were between the ages of 31 and 40, and another 22% were between 21 and 30. Why is this important? Knowing that more than 60% of the owners here are young professionals, young families, and millennials is a crucial piece of data, especially if you care about your exit strategy. Here's why a younger demographics for this development is a powerful catalyst for growth. First, young professionals generally have growing incomes and longer investment horizons. This means that they are less susceptible to a fire sale or distressed sale, thereby ensuring price stability for the whole development. Second, since millennials and young families already made up the largest pool of resale condo buyers, you already know there will be massive demand when you eventually decide to sell. Finally, combine that with being within a 1 kilometer radius of elite schools like Pei Hwa Presbyterian and Methodist Girls' School, and this investment property is practically bulletproof. The 1 kilometer radius requirement is inelastic and the supply of homes within it is extremely limited. Parents will have no choice but to pay a massive premium to secure a home here. To truly appreciate the value of the Reserve Residences, you also have to understand how this land was actually sold by the government. This wasn't your typical land auction where the developer with the highest bid automatically wins. This was released under a 2-envelope system where the first envelope was the concept and the second envelope is the price. Why is this a massive advantage to you as a buyer? Because it acts as a strict quality control. The design had to prove it could seamlessly integrate a transport hub, large public spaces, and commercial vibrancy to serve as the new focal point of the beauty world rejuvenation. Actually, if you look at the details of the tenderers, Far East was so bent on securing this land that out of the 5 total entries, they submitted 3 separate entries just to make sure their concept would be approved. This means that you are buying a home where the architectural design, the mall, and the transport hub were actually vetted and appraised by the government before a single brick was laid. You're buying into a proven, award-winning masterpiece. Notice that the Reserve Residences is referred to as an integrated transport hub. When people talk about an integrated development, this is a term used by URA to describe a development that has an MRT station, a residential component, and a commercial mall. Right now, there are about 20 of these projects scattered across Singapore as shown. While on the other hand, an integrated transport hub is a term used by LTA to describe a development that has an air-conditioned bus interchange, MRT, and a commercial shopping centre, and there are a total of 12 integrated transport hubs in Singapore. However, not all integrated transport hubs have a residential component on top. Out of the 12 integrated transport hubs, only 9 actually feature private residences built directly on top of them, as shown in the image now. Now, I'm sure you are curious how these developments fare in comparison to other pure residential developments in the same period of time in the same location. Let us take a look at the hard numbers. I'm going to use the latest 3 integrated transport hub developments as this is what most people are curious about. First, let's take a look at the Woodleigh area, When Woodleigh Residences was launched back in May 2019, its 2-bedroom units were going for an average of $1,901 per square foot, 3 bedrooms were $2,052 per square foot, and 4 bedrooms were at $2,271 per square foot. During the exact same time period in May 2019, in the same vicinity, you can also choose the Trevor, which was also a highly popular new launch development that was later to complete in 2022. Their 2-bedroom prices were going for $1,605 per square foot, 3 bedrooms were at $1,589 per square foot, and 4 bedrooms were at $1,575 per square foot. As a buyer, going for Woodleigh Residences means that you are paying an extra 18% premium for a 2-bedroom, a 29% premium for a 3-bedroom, and a 44% premium for the 4-bedroom. To many buyers, they will look at the price gap and assume that the Trevor was probably the safer choice because it was cheaper. But as we can see from the annualized gains of the two developments, a lower entry price does not naturally guarantee you a better return. Despite the additional 29% premium, Woodleigh Residences' 3-bedroom units went on to achieve a 6.15% annualized gains over the Trevor's 4.94% for about the same holding period. Now let's take a look at the East, Pasir Ris 8 and Coco Palms. When Pasir Ris 8 was launched back in July 2021, its 1-bedroom units were averaging $1,712 per square foot, 2 bedrooms were $1,632 per square foot, and 3 bedrooms were at $1,513 per square foot. In the exact same period in July 2021, if you turn your attention to a completed resale condo, Coco Palms, their 1-bedroom prices were going for $1,209 per square foot, 2 bedrooms $1,061 per square foot, and 3 bedrooms $1,047 per square foot. That represents paying a higher premium for Pasir Ris 8 with a 41% higher for the 1-bedroom, 53% higher for the 2-bedroom, and 44% higher for the 3 bedrooms. Once again, many mass market buyers would assume paying that much more for an integrated transport hub was crazy when Coco Palms, which is just a short walk away, is much cheaper. Despite the additional 44% premium this time, Pasir Ris 8's 3-bedroom unit went on to achieve a 7.58% annualized gain over Coco Palms' 4.96%. While Coco Palms' owner had to hold their units for 7 years to make a profit of $437,000, Pasir Ris 8 netted its owners $574,000 in barely 4 years. Lastly, we have Sengkang Grand Residences and beside it, Jewel at Buangkok. Sengkang Grand Residences launched in November 2019 with 1 bedrooms at $1,763 per square foot, 2 bedrooms $1,722 per square foot, 3 bedrooms $1,702 per square foot, and 4 bedrooms $1,675 per square foot. Right next door at Jewel at Buangkok, during that exact same time period, its 1 bedrooms were going for an average of $1,347 per square foot, 2 bedrooms $1,224 per square foot, 3 bedrooms $1,176 per square foot, and 4 bedrooms were $1,192 per square foot. This put Sengkang Grand at a premium of about 30% higher for a 1 bedroom, 40% higher for a 2 bedroom, 44% higher for a 3 bedroom, and 40% for a 4 bedroom unit. Predictably, many would claim that the cheaper resale option right next door was the better deal. However, Sengkang Grand's 3-bedroom accelerated at a 5.22% annualized gain, while Jewel at Buangkok lagged behind and only gained 3.75% for the same holding period. Now, if you didn't catch the annualized growth figures for the other bedroom types in the previous comparisons, you can pause the video and scroll back to review it again. Well, I'm not saying that an integrated transport hub is the best or the only choice you should consider. I believe different properties caters to different families and deciding on which development will still ultimately boils down to your family's unique lifestyle needs, your financial situation, and your specific timeline. But what I can say is this, when you take a step back and observe these 3 groups of comparisons, the data conclusively proves that paying a reasonable premium for an integrated transport hub isn't an overpriced mistake. It is a calculated strategic cost to position yourself in a superior asset class that safeguards your investment capital while structurally outpacing standard residential condos. To take this one step deeper, let's look past the percentages and break it down into cold, hard cash using the 3-bedroom data for Pasir Ris 8 and Coco Palms over a standard 4-year cycle in line with the current SSD policy. If you bought a 1,000 square feet unit at the cheaper Coco Palms at $1,047 per square foot, your purchase price is $1.047 million. Your initial cash outlay, 25% of the down payment, which is $261,750, and buyer stamp duty of $26,480 totals to $288,230, compounding at 4.96% annualized gain for a period of 4 years, gives you a profit of $223,000 upon exit. When you divide that profit with your initial cash outlay, you're looking at a respectable 77.4% cash-on-cash return. While if you have chosen to go for Pasir Ris 8 at $1,513 per square foot at a similar 1,000 square feet, Your purchase price is 1.513 million. The initial cash outlay, 25% down payment of $378,250 plus stamp duty of $45,250 totals to $423,500, compounding there at 7.58% annualized gains for the same 4 years period shoots your profits to a staggering $513,000. That translates to an incredible 121% cash on cash return. Think about what those numbers actually mean. By simply choosing Pasir Ris 8 over Coco Palms, you gain an extra $290,000 in profits for the exact same time period. This completely shatters the myth that cheaper properties gives you more room to grow. Rather than just looking at purchase price alone, understanding your entry point into where a property sits in its overall life cycle is equally important. In Singapore's real estate market, you really have to properly analyze the property you are buying into. In this case, a rare asset like an integrated transport hub isn't an overpriced mistake. It is an anchor designed to safeguard your capital downside while accelerating your wealth if you execute your entry correctly. Coming back to the reserve residences, let's take a look at this development's ecosystem first. There is a commercial component right beneath the residential towers, Bukit V, a massive 4-story retail and civic podium spanning over 20,000 square meters with extensive dining options, medical clinics, enrichment centers, and a full-scale supermarket, all seamlessly connected to the air-conditioned bus interchange and Beauty World MRT. In addition, the integrated complex includes a dedicated service apartment tower. Now, some of the buyers will ask me, Wayne, is having service apartments in the same development a good thing, or does it compromise my privacy and introduce more guests and strangers around? It is a completely fair question, and here is why some seasoned investors actually hunt for developments with integrated service apartments. First, let's address the privacy concern right off the bat. The residential towers and the service apartments are completely segregated. You have separate drop-off lobbies, different lifts, and different security access systems. A guest staying at the service apartments cannot simply tap their card and wander into your private residential areas. Second, service apartments are generally operated by corporate entities whose revenue depends heavily on guest ratings and pristine conditions. Because of this, unlike standard condos that start showing signs of wear and tear after 5 or 10 years, the building's upkeep, the common areas, landscaping, and facade are maintained to a hotel-grade standard, shielding your resale value in the long run. Third, when MNCs relocate expats to Singapore, they almost always stay in service apartments for their first 1 to 3 months. When those expats are looking for a longer 1 to 2 year residential lease, where do you think their very first choice is? Naturally, you inherit a built-in continuous stream of high-budget corporate tenants. And here's the kicker. You literally have a ready pool of premium tenants and future buyers built into the pipeline as part of your exit strategy. When it comes to recreational spaces, the developers took full advantage of the land's natural topography. Spread across 7 distinct stories, you have over 70 lifestyle facilities, a 600-meter jogging trail, dedicated dog run, communal dining pavilions, or quiet garden living rooms. Every space has been intentionally curated. The centerpiece of it all is a massive interconnected aquatic landscape where a dedicated family pool links directly to a 50-meter lap pool and various thematic water features, creating a tranquil sanctuary right at the base of the towers. For the residential side, the Reserve Residences is intentionally split into 4 curated collections. The Reserve Residences collection, efficient 1 to 3 bedroom homes engineered for smart modern living with abundance of natural light, great cross ventilation, and clever built-in storage solutions. Number 2, the Horizon collection, premium 3 and 4 bedroom designs for larger families featuring private lifts and full-length glass panels for unobstructed views of Bukit Timah Nature Reserve and Rifle Range Nature Park. Number 3, the Creekside Collection, a limited edition low-rise enclave offering 3 and 4 bedrooms on elevated ground, complete with higher 3.15 meter ceilings, balconies overlooking pool or greenery views, and private lifts for selected units. Number 4, the Treetop Collection, the top-tier luxury jewel comprising 4 to 5 bedroom units, duplex and penthouses with marble finishes, ducted aircon, 3.2 meter ceilings, and either a private lift or direct car park access. Which brings me to the unit that I'm introducing to you today. I have an exclusive Type C2A, a 3-bedroom unit under the Reserve Residences collection for sale right now. However, for a mega development like this with multiple 1-bedroom to 5-bedroom configurations, going through every single floor plan would turn this video into a 2-hour movie. So today, we are zooming strictly into the 3-bedroom layouts, the absolute sweet spot for both growing families and capital growth. Across all the 4 collections, there are 10 different 3-bedroom floor plan types. I'll flash them quickly on the screen right now. Now, because each collection carries its own unique characteristics and pricing tiers, comparing a standard unit to a luxury private live suite wouldn't be an apple-to-apple comparison. To keep things more fair and structured, I'm going to analyze the 5 distinct 3-bedroom layouts within the Reserve Residences collection. First up, Type C1 AA2 square feet. This is a compact 3-bedroom which naturally makes it one of the most attractive entry-level price units. Layout-wise, it utilizes a popular and smart dumbbell concept, placing bedroom 3 on one side of the living room, while the master bedroom and bedroom 2 are on the opposite end. The balcony is also well proportioned, not too large, without eating up too much precious indoor space. However, there are a few lifestyle compromises you need to be aware of. The kitchen is an open galley style kitchen which is not enclosable. The dining area I feel is kind of in the middle of the whole unit. In day-to-day living, that could potentially be a bottleneck, constantly blocking your walkway as you move from one side of the home to the other. The washer dryer is tucked right beside it. Eating your dinner right next to your laundry feels a little bit weird to me. And lastly, neither of the bathrooms have windows for natural ventilation. Next, Type C2, 936 square feet and C2A, 947 square feet. The difference between C2 and C2A is 11 square feet or 1 square meter variation in the balcony size. Otherwise, the internal layout is identical. This layout is the sweet spot for space efficiency and overall value for money. This is the more typical 3-bedroom layout where the entrance leads you to a proper, clearly defined living and dining area. The kitchen here is fully enclosable and comes with its own window for natural ventilation, so you don't have to worry about heavy cooking fumes drifting into your living area. All the bathrooms in this layout have windows for natural light and ventilation. If I have to nitpick one thing about this layout is that there is a little walkway leading to the master ensuite. Some buyers may feel that the space is slightly wasted, but since the developer has already positioned the wardrobe there, with a simple interior tweak, you can simply swap out the wardrobe doors for sleek tinted glass panels, giving you a clean, visually appealing walk-in wardrobe feel with an elevated hotel vibe. Next, Type C3 958 square feet. This is a slightly larger 3-bedroom setup. It retains the popular dumbbell layout with bedroom 3 on one side, while bedroom 2 and the master bedroom is on the other end. When you enter, there is a foyer area. Now, some of you may like it for privacy, some may think that it is a wasted space. But practically speaking, I do feel that you can easily build a full-height L-shaped cabinet for shoes and storage. Because of the extra square feet, the living and dining area is much more spaced out as compared to the same dumbbell layout for Type C1. It also has an enclosable kitchen and the washer dryer is properly kept inside. However, there are still a couple of drawbacks to consider. The wardrobe in the master bedroom is in an awkward inverted L shape, which makes organizing your clothes a little bit clunky. And unlike Type C2, both the master and common bathrooms do not have windows for natural ventilation. Next is Type C4 1044 square feet. This layout offers a household shelter which the other layouts C1 to C3 do not have. The living and dining area is laid out in a landscape orientation which gives the home a wider, more upscale feel when you walked in. The kitchen here is also enclosable, but personally, I do not really like this layout. Right off the bat, at the entrance is a long walkway. Despite having a larger square feet, the kitchen, though enclosable, is relatively smaller as compared to the other smaller size units. There is a window for the master bathroom, but not the common bathroom. My biggest issue is even though there is a household shelter, it is right smack in the middle of the unit, which I find inefficient because it forces a second internal hallway before you are able to reach bedroom 3 or the master bedroom. Even though it is 1044 square feet, bigger than the other units on paper, unless you require a bomb shelter and love a landscape living hall, I think there are much better space-efficient layouts in this development. And finally, we come to the largest unit in this collection, Type C5 at 1216 square feet, configured as a 3-bedroom plus study. This is the only layout in this collection that gives you a dedicated utility room with its own WC. You also get a dedicated study area tucked along the corridor, which is ideal for work-from-home setups without needing to sacrifice a full bedroom. Bedroom 3 sits privately on the right, while bedroom 2, the study, and the master bedroom are on the left. The balcony is also larger, extending from the living room to the kitchen. The kitchen and the utility area are not directly connected. Usually, many would use it as a yard or extension of the kitchen. However, the dedicated utility room will still work perfectly as a dedicated laundry area, bulk storage space, or even a helper's room. Neither of the bathrooms nor the WC comes with windows for natural ventilation. So for this layout, you have to weigh if the larger balcony or the fully internal bathrooms align with your lifestyle. Ultimately, across C1 to C5, it all comes down to balancing your budget against your needs. Whether that's securing the lowest entry price with C1, grabbing the ultimate all-rounder value with C2, or paying a premium for extra spatial flexibility in C3, C4, and C5. Now, keep in mind I've compared these 5 3-bedroom layouts under the Reserve Residences collection. There are still collections from the Horizon and Creekside. The Reserve Residences is a massive development with dozens of different configurations spanning all the way from 1-bedroom up to 5-bedroom luxury suites and penthouses. Beyond just the floor plan and layout, critical factors like floor level, stack, facing, and orientation can really affect your living experience and your future resale value. So if you are a buyer looking to shortlist the right unit before making a purchase, or an owner thinking of selling and want to look for a dedicated expert who truly understands the nuances of this development, reach out to me, Wayne, at 987-94135, or scan the QR code to arrange for a private one-to-one consultation. I will personally walk you through a tailored analysis to make sure you make the smartest, best possible move based on your family's needs and financial situation. If you found this deep dive analysis helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, or drop a comment below telling me which of these 3-bedroom layouts you would pick. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!